Hey mamas, you are listening to the Motherhood is Ghetto podcast. We all know motherhood can be a beautiful thing, but girl, it can also be ghetto. Join me as we discuss some of the best and worst parts of being a mom raising kids, all while trying to figure out this thing called life. This ghetto is a safe space, mamas. So welcome to the hood. Hey mamas, welcome back to another episode of Motherhood is Ghetto. My name is Joy, and how y'all doing out there? If y'all doing all right, you already know what to say. Say amen. I pray you are having a great day, a start to the week, a great week so far. Today is the first day of school for kids here in Nevada, and my kids are off on their new school year adventure. I have a brand new high schooler. I have a high school freshman now, amen. And I have a sixth and seventh grader. Yep. So this morning was a little, well, actually, this morning actually wasn't really chaotic or crazy because we did for sure prep for back to school way in advance. So we did our back to school shopping like in a timely manner so that way we wouldn't be caught up in any rushes or anything like that. We got our haircuts and hair dones um in a timely manner. So nothing like that was rushed or like hectic or chaotic. Um we started off the morning very great. Everyone got up when they were supposed to, got ready for school, all that good stuff. And my daughter woke up first because she has to be out the door the earliest. Y'all, she got to be at her bus pickup at 5:30 in the morning. 5:30 in the morning. So she was up at 4 a.m. I woke up at 4:30 and she got herself together. I got her to the bus. Cool. She's off to school. And then when I came home, my boys are waking up, so they're getting themselves ready. I'm making sure that they got their bus numbers, their routes, all that good stuff. So that way, coming home from school, they know what bus to get on and they got their schedules and all that good stuff. So, also, too, one thing to note, which I'll probably talk about in a different episode, but my two middle schoolers, my sixth and my seventh grader, unfortunately, they are going to different schools at the moment, but that's a whole nother story. So I will get into that. And it was something that I was really trying to avoid. But nonetheless, we are here. So this is now the second year that I have all my kids going to three different schools. And let me tell you, it is challenging, but we're gonna make it do what it do, amen, until I can get my boys into the same middle school together. But in the meantime, I'm still going to pray about it and I'm going to leave it in the Lord's hands, amen. So the boys are good. Got Solomon off to school, no problem. And the way that it works this year, both my sons, their bus kind of arrives at the same time, but in different pickup areas. So when Solomon's bus came, that was cool. And then I'm looking at the bus map or the bus app and seeing where my other son's bus is, and I'm like, okay, we can walk, to the outside of the community and I can get you on the bus. Cool. Well, that bus came faster than what the app said it would, so we ended up missing that bus. So I just went ahead and drove him to school. But yeah, so the morning went very well besides that little hiccup. Um, but yeah, they're excited. They're excited for the new school year. They're excited for their new grades and their new journeys. My daughter made the freshman volleyball team. Amen. I'm very, very proud of her. I'm excited for her. She's excited too because this school that she is going to, the only reason why she is going to this school is because she wanted to play the sport. And because she is in the magnet program, there are some magnet schools that don't do sports. So she really wanted to go to this high school for the opportunity to be on the volleyball team. And y'all, if she didn't make this team, like I would have been like, wow, so you're going to school across town for nothing. Well, not for nothing because she's super smart and I'm so proud of her for being in the magnet program. But still, like we definitely had a plan, and if the plan wouldn't have worked out, I don't know what we would have done. And it, to me, it would have probably felt like a waste because she could have went to a school closer to home. But we don't have to worry about that. Well, I will never know because she made the team. And yeah, so all that to say, I know I missed an episode last week, and I hate that I missed an episode, but it got super busy that week before school with appointments and just all this stuff and getting them like prepared for back to school, and it got really busy and I didn't have time to record. So that is on me, but I am making it up to you guys this week with 2 episodes. So today you are seeing this episode, and then on Wednesday you will see our regularly scheduled episode. So again, my apologies, mamas. And just when I had announced, like, I was so proud of myself for putting out an episode a week since June, or excuse me, since May. Amen. Let me correct myself. I was so proud of myself and I was being consistent. And then as soon as I announced it, bam, missed a week. But that's okay. That's okay. I was super busy. And also, too, I've been helping my friend create her website. She started a skincare business selling shea butter, and I'm helping her create her website. So I've been busy with that too. And then also too busy coming up and thinking of topics for my podcast so that way I have stuff to talk with you guys about. So, with that being said, this episode, I'm really just going to catch y'all up with what's been going on. I will save the topics for Wednesday, but I just really want to check in, especially with you mamas that have kids going back to school today. I really hope and pray that your children have a great school year. I pray that they have a great first day, and I pray that the school year is smooth for you. Amen. And yeah, I pray that all the kids do well this year and they make lots of friends and they just have a successful year. But I just wanted to check in, make sure you guys were all right, and just kind of let you guys know what's been going on here in this hood, this motherhood. But besides the kids and doing everything with them, Genesis has been since the whole summer she was doing intramurals for volleyball. So she wasn't on the team, but like she was practicing and stuff with the coaches and all that, and that led up to tryouts. So that was all summer. So all summer, between me and my mom taking her back and forth to practices and stuff. So that worked out, and I believe she has her first game this week. So we're excited for that. Also, to my youngest, played basketball all summer. So we have been doing that all summer. And today is his final game. It's his playoff game. So I'm kind of excited for that to be over. And he does want to try out for his new school's basketball team. So when that comes around, we're going to be looking into that. And Solo is still drumming. He's still playing the drums and doing all that. And I am hoping to get him out of self-contained this year. So he is currently in like a autism program in school. He always has been. But all this time since like he started school when he was 3 years old up until now, he's been in like a self-contained environment where he does go to general education classes now, but he always has like a classroom he comes back to where it's him and other children who have autism, and it kind of like it's self-contained. So but we feel like he is past that now, and he is able to control himself and pay attention without that self-contained environment. So that's what we're working on. And I am hoping that once he is out of that, then he has more opportunity to participate like in other electives in his middle school, like playing in the band or drumline or something like that, so that way he can get that social interaction as far as with music, like with his music and learning from other people. So that's my goal. And then also too, with getting him removed from self-contained, my goal is to get him and his brother to the same middle school. Because I was thinking that since we moved to a different zone, that he would go to the school that he's zoned for. But of course, since he is in an autism program, there's a lot of nuances. And I actually knew about these nuances, but for some reason it just slipped my mind. And once like they started telling me like, well, this school that you're zoned for is too full, like they're at capacity for students in their autism program at the level your son's at, so he has to continue to go to the school that he went to last year. And I was like, I knew that. I knew that, but at the time, like I forgot all about that part, and I was like, dang it. But if he was not in self-contained, there may have been an opportunity for him to move over to the new school. So that's okay. A little discouraged, but that's okay. Because we're gonna work through it. It's gonna be great. And um, I already started the process, put it in the special education facilitator's ear that we want to get him out of self-contained, and so that way he could be evaluated and all that stuff. So that's what we're working on with that. Also, too, with Solomon, and I will also probably talk about this. This will probably be an episode, like a follow-up episode to the parenting your child through grief episode a little while back. I can't remember if I talked about it in the episode, but I was on a mission to find my son a therapist to speak to about what he's been going through and his challenges with grief. And I had been having such a hard time finding a therapist that would take him because of how young he is. And a lot of what I got from the places that I called was that they see children as young as 16 years old. And 12 was too young. They didn't treat children that age. But also, too, one important thing to note was that I was going through my job, because through my job we get 10 free therapy sessions. So I was trying to use the providers that take that benefit, and all the ones I called, I pretty much called like 10 of them, and none of them took children that young. So I was stuck and I was feeling defeated, and I was like, I need to find my son somebody, because I'm not equipped to help him in this way. Like I've been helping him as much as I can, but I know that he needs like professional help. So long story short, I ended up finding one. Actually, my very good friend recommended his child therapist when he was a child, recommended him. I called them. They were like, yes, we would love to take your kiddo. And I was like, amen. So shout out to you, Boo, for recommending that therapist. So he has his first appointment with a therapist on Wednesday, and I'm excited for him. Also, too, he is really open to it, because I did sit down with him and ask him like, "Hey, I know that you're not always comfortable talking with me, and that's 100% okay. Would you be open to talking to someone else?" And he was super open to it, more open than what I thought he would be to it. So he's excited to start this new journey as well. I'm excited for him. And I will get into it a little bit more deeper in a different episode because children and mental health, y'all, these kids, yeah, they definitely they need us, one, but also two, they need us to recognize when we have to seek professional help. And I felt like in this scenario and what's been going on with my son, I felt like this was necessary, and I brought him as far as I can, with helping him navigate his grief with losing his dad and losing his uncle, two people that he was very close with, had great relationships with, and I brought him as far as I can. Um and it as his mom, like, it sucks to say that, but I know that, like, I've exhausted all of my efforts. I know that I've done everything in my power to help my son to feel better, to grieve in a healthy way. Like, I know, like, so in that part of it, I don't feel bad, but it did make me feel some type of way knowing that I couldn't help my baby 100%. But that's okay because I feel like I'm doing the right thing with this. And again, I will go into it more in detail in a different episode because we're going to need the full 30 to 40 minutes for that. But I am excited for him and I'm happy for him. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with the kids. And of course, with me, just been working still my 9 to 5, still been working on saving money, working on building up my portfolio um with stocks and all that good stuff, and just been working on me still. Been working on me still and making sure that I'm good and being able to be in a healthy mind state, in a healthy space, so that way I could show up for myself and show up for my kids. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on. Also, too, I wanted to answer a question from a listener. I did get a question from a listener in the DM, so I did want to answer that question and kind of touch on that topic. And the question that I got from a listener, they wanted me to give some tips and advice on dating as a single mom. So first, I want to be honest and transparent and let you know that I do not date. And I do not date by choice. Amen. To be honest, I'm not really focused on dating right now, and it's not something that's like at the top of my mind for me. And I'm still very much trying to heal parts of myself that need healing before I step into or even think about stepping into another type of relationship. But what I will say is that if you are a single mom and you are looking to put yourself out there on the dating scene, the bit of advice that I would give you is make sure that you are 100% secure in yourself. You're 100% okay with your own company, and you are 100% able to take care and fulfill all of your needs before seeking fulfillment from somebody else. And I say that because I've learned so much becoming a widow about myself, and I learned I learned to first love me before I could give love or show love to anyone else. Throughout lots of parts of my marriage, I really didn't love myself because I wasn't focused on myself. I was focused on everyone else and trying to please everyone else and make sure everyone else was good. So, that didn't leave any room for me to actually love on me and love myself. But now that I've had this time and space to really focus on myself and love on me, really, If I were to walk outside right now and a man just sweep me off my feet, like that would just be like a cherry on top. That would be like a great addition or a great bonus, but it wouldn't make me whole or complete because I'm already working towards that, being whole and complete with myself and within myself and within the confines of what I've built. Amen. And if you're at that point right now and you're ready to date, and I salute you. I love and I believe in love. I believe that everyone deserves to find their person. I feel like there is a person for everyone. I believe in marriage. I believe in dating with purpose. I believe in, dating to find a husband, not just out here like having fun. Or if you are having fun like that, do you? Like that's quite all right. But I do believe in like the traditional stuff. So so if you're ready for that, then I definitely encourage you, to put yourself out there. But at the same time, I do want you to make sure that, you know, you are secure in yourself, you love yourself, you are okay with your own company. So that way you won't go seeking that love and validation from somebody, or like trying to date people that you're just trying to please at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, when you match with somebody and you think that you want to pursue a relationship with that person, then that person needs to bring something into the relationship that works and flows with what you already got going on. Like I said, like it's like a cherry on top type of feeling, and we're not dating to fill a void or to search for something like that's missing. And that's just my take on it. And I'll tell you guys a little story, okay? Just to give you an example. So a couple weeks ago, I went out with some friends, coworkers, and while we were there, this man stopped dead in his tracks and was just staring at me. And I was like, like at first I thought he was looking at my shirt because I had a shirt that said Dreamville on it. So I'm thinking like he's a J. Cole fan, he's a Dreamville fan. But he's like looking at me, and I kid you not, y'all, he's looking at me like this. If y'all are watching the the visuals on this podcast, he's looking at me like this. Just like starry eyed, mouth like open, like jaw dropped, and I'm like, okay, like I don't know what's going on here. And so it takes him a minute like to start speaking, but once he did start speaking, he was like, "You are gorgeous. You stopped me like dead in my tracks. Like I was on my way to somewhere, so and like you stopped me dead in my tracks. You are beautiful." And I was like, "Oh, thank you, And he's like, "No, like you are gorgeous. I've never seen anyone as beautiful as you." And I'm like, "Okay." Like, where's the cameras at? Like, where's the hidden cameras? Because this can't be. Um, and he's just like kissing my hand, and he's like, can I give you a hug and all this stuff?" And I'm like, "Okay, I appreciate you. Thank you so much." Like, so that happens. And what it did, it confirmed two things for me. Like, of course I could have been like, "Oh my God, like, you want my number, blah blah blah." But I actually, that night, I went out, and as I was getting ready, I was like, like I'm going out with my friends. I ain't trying to catch no man. Like that's what I tell myself every time before I go out anywhere. So like when I'm trying to pick an outfit or something, or figuring out what I want to do with my face, if I want to put on makeup or not, like all that stuff, I'm like, I ain't out here trying to catch no man. I'm gonna do exactly what I feel like I want to do tonight. I'm gonna wear the outfit I want to wear. I'm gonna style my hair the way I want to style it. If I want to put on makeup, I'm gonna put it on. If not, I'm not going to. And it's just gonna be what it is. And that was that type of night. Like I threw on some baggy high-waisted jeans. I threw on my Dreamville t-shirt and I threw on a little foundation with a little bit of blush and a little bit of lip gloss. And I went on my merry way. And not thinking that I would catch someone's eye or anything like that. I just really wanted to have a good night with my friends. But what it did confirm for me was that one, the inner work that I'm doing, amen, the inner work that I'm doing to be beautiful on the inside as well as on the outside is working. The attention that I give myself and the way that I take care of myself clearly exudes from the inside out. Because if I was able to stop that man in his tracks, look in the way that I look, like, not saying that I'm ugly. I know I'm not ugly because my parents ain't ugly. So I know I'm not ugly. But at the same time, I really, you know, I really just go out into the world thinking that, I'm a representation of my family. I'm a representation of my late husband and my kids. So I do try to look my best, but I don't go out trying to look a certain way to attract the male gaze or anything like that. Men are very much de-centered in my life. I'm not really checking for anybody right now. But also too, I'm not closed off to the idea of like dating. I'm just not proactively seeking to date anyone right now. Um, but it did confirm that what I'm doing, the little things I'm doing to make sure that I'm beautiful inside and out is working. And it did confirm for me also that like I need to be confident in myself, confident in the way that I show up in the eyes of others, because especially as a mom and a mom of three, you always have that thing in the back of your head that's like, no one's gonna want me because I got three kids. Like, they're not gonna want to deal with me, like, or what I got going on. They're not gonna want to be a part of, the legacy that I'm trying to leave for my kids. And it kind of just makes you want to not pursue it at all. So I can definitely understand it on that front. But it really did like help to boost my confidence and let me know like, like I probably still do got a little bit. And there are some people that, will see the beauty that I have on the outside and on the inside. If they stick around long enough and want to get to know me, then they'll know how beautiful I am inside and out. So it really did help my confidence in knowing that what I'm doing is working, the inner work that I'm doing, as well as taking care of myself physically on the outside, it's working. So, but all that to say, back to your question, is I don't really have too many tips or advices because right now I don't date. But what I will say is before you get started, or if you haven't started already, just make sure you do the inner work first. So that way, if you come across some Rudy poos, you know, it's really nothing. It doesn't do anything like to your self-esteem or how you look or view yourself as a woman. If that's dating, a single mom that's dating, just make sure like you are confident when you step out there and securing yourself and what you have to offer and what you bring to the table. I think that that's the best thing to do, especially as a single mom, because already we have so much against us, and there's so much rhetoric out there going around about dating single moms and how men shouldn't date a single mom and they should look for high value women. And if you're a high value man, and the fuck. Yeah, I don't subscribe to that. I think, like I said, love is love. And If you decide to fall in love with a single mom, that's okay. I don't think that being with a single mom devalues anyone, and being a single mom doesn't devalue you. Amen. So just make sure that on your search for love, or for a partner, that you are secure, you know what you want, and don't settle for anything less. I think that that's another tip I would give. Like, know exactly the type of partner that you want, and go out and get him or her, or whatever you fancy. um but yeah, it's just important to be secure in ourselves and know exactly what we want and know what we bring. So that's my advice. I'm sorry I couldn't give any more advice. Maybe one day when I do start dating, or if I do start dating, then I'll have more to offer. But that's just my little 2 cents. But I do appreciate the question. I appreciate you reaching out. But yeah, if anyone has any more questions or anything, any topics that you want me to cover, I am more than happy to do that. Um, and I will do my best to give a very informed, impartial opinion, and hopefully it helps you. So that's going to be pretty much it for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, if you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, don't forget to follow the show so that way you're notified every time I put a new episode out. And then also you can catch the visuals on Spotify too. And then on Apple Podcasts, it's just the audio. Also, I am on YouTube where you can catch the visuals and the audio as well. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, join the hood. I would love to get to 100 subscribers at least by the end of the year. That's my goal. So if you know anyone that would enjoy this podcast, just send them my way. Send them my way. Amen. Also, too, if you haven't already, the Empower Mama Planner is available on Amazon if you want to pick that up. I want to be looking to revamp the planner here for the start of 2026. So if you want to get the first version, you can right now. It's on Amazon, but I am going to be looking to change up a couple things with the planner, the size, the look, all that stuff. But in the meantime, there is the Empower Mama Planner available on Amazon. Also, too, the Motherhood is Ghetto Self-Care Journal for Mothers is also available on Amazon. I will have them linked in the show notes if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and I will have them linked in the description on YouTube if you're watching or listening on YouTube. But mamas, thank you so much for tuning in today. Again, sorry for the episode missed last week, but I promise I will make it up to you guys this week with 2 episodes. And I thank you so much for tuning in. And again, I hope the babies have a fantastic school year. And I hope you have a great school year as well. Do not forget to take time for yourself. We can get lost in the sauce with these kids. Amen. I know it. I've been there. But please make sure you're taking care of yourself and doing for yourself and prioritizing yourself. Amen. Thank you so much. And until next time, mamas. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. Don't forget to follow the podcast and share with anyone who you think may enjoy it. And follow me on Instagram at motherhood_ghetto. Also, feel free to DM me if you have any experiences, opinions, or views on motherhood you'd like me to share on the podcast. Until next time, mamas.